cannot be a good writer if you are not a good reader. So it's important for us to read. We must plan to read. And while reading, we cannot afford to read articles like a journal or like a novel. So we need to also learn the methods of reading, and such as screening articles for relevance and quality, and to go into the findings to deepen our understanding of what the article is actually trying to say. He also added that we must read with a critical mind, and we can refer to our slide deck for a guideline on how to read. We have been giving the slides. Then he said after we read, then we can now begin to develop our story, build our story from there. After that first lecture, it took us an overview of descriptive and inferential statistics. And he told us that there are 3 levels of analysis: the variable, variable, and variable. And he stressed the importance of ensuring that we explore our descriptive statistics very well, not extravagantly. We do a comprehensive analysis of our variables before we begin to go to the other levels of analysis. Okay, we must describe the data extensively before we can begin to find relationships between the variables. Okay, so while that was going on, Dr. Ogunleye announced the change in the agenda, which was going forward of some lectures, and it was moved around. He also shared the advantage of secondary data, which is the fact that the methodology is already set, so we don't have to worry about methodology issues and all that. So it makes our analysis easier, and I think it was Dr. Ogunleye that mentioned that. It was going to be, it makes our analysis easier, and it is very rare for our project, for our manuscript to be rejected based on methodology, because methodology has already been set. Alright, so Dr. Adedini shared with us the conditions for use of measures of central tendencies and when to use multivariate analysis. So for invariable analysis, one frequencies and all that. For bivariables, we have the chi-square, the one-way ANOVA, and the regression analysis. Then for multivariable, depending, we have at least one independent and one dependent variable and 2 or more dependent variables. So that can be regression, ANOVA, like that. So while we were doing that, a question came about the difference between theory and hypothesis, and okay, so it was clarified that theory has already been proven and accepted for the body of knowledge. Hypothesis is still we're still trying to prove an hypothesis. Okay, so Professor Asha took us on relationship in research and how to ensure that how to know when to do what analysis. So we started by defining relationship and the change in pattern in one variable, which also results in a change in the other variable before we can say that there is a relationship. So relationship can be described in terms of direction and magnitude. Okay. So he said that correlation helps us to ascertain that there is a relationship at all, and then the extent of the relationship, while regression helps to analyze the relationship and quantitative variables, the effect of a variable on another variable. So in doing regression, if the effect is up to 1, then we can use bivariable or linear model. If it is greater than 1, then we can talk of multiple linear models. And then for multivariable analysis, if we want to do a multiple linear progression, it means that all our variables are all quantitative. But if we have a dependent variable that is dichotomous and an independent variable that is either categorical or numerical, then we can do a multiple logistic regression. But if The dependent variable has, categories, and the independent variable is the dependent variable has 3 categories. The independent variable is I think categorical too. Then we can do multinomial. I'm not quite sure of what I wrote there. Okay, so we also have the maneuver. He went on to touch on maneuver, which in maneuver we look at the individual effects, and there was this role play, a short role play. You look at the individual effect. When you are doing maneuver, you look at the individual effect of an independent variable and the dependent variable. Then you look at the interaction effect on the variables, and the dependent variables are usually quantitative while the independent variable are categorical. All right, so then he went on to list some of the variables we can find in the NDHS, and that was that. Then Mr. Matthew took us through NBS, give us an overview of when NBS was established and the type of data we can access from the NBS data, and the techniques of data collection, which I'll just quickly mention. He mentioned PAPI, which is paper-assisted personal interview, CATI, computer-assisted telephone interview, CAWI, computer-assisted maybe web interview, then CAPI, computer-assisted personal interview. He mentioned all the data sources, the surveys that are available that we can also use for our data. We can refer to the slide for that information. Okay, then we looked at Mendeley for that day. We looked at Mendeley, and we did a practical session on Mendeley, setting up the Mendeley app and importing our articles and linking up the articles with our writings, and that was it. For yesterday, we did practicals for the most part of the day. We did Stata, and I think we had a lecture. I can't remember. We had a lecture, yes, Professor, yeah. So thank you.
Thank you. Are we confirmed the launch is ready?
It's ready.
It's ready.